We acknowledge the Ghana people as the traditional custodians of the Adelaide region and their spiritual relationship with their country. We pay respect to elders past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to all First Nations people and their connections to land. Always was, always will be.
Kia ora fam, my name is Dion.
I'm Aki.
I'm Reeni.
And we are the
3.
Wise.
Cousins. What's up fam, how we going?
We're doing good. How about yourself?
I'm not too shabby, my man.
Nice.
What's been going on in your neck of the woods?
You know what? There is a sense of survival. I mean, at work it's just been a lot of busy days, busy nights. Other than that as well, trying to just find a new pace of life. Just trying to make sure we're filling that cup of happiness. But yeah, other than that, we're just ironically chilling at the same time. What about yourselves?
Oh, okay. I feel like I've just been having to really tune in and look after my body a lot at the moment, just with my recent health issues, which has been a good thing for me to just like not neglect that part, because I think naturally things get busy and we just forget that. So that's what's been happening. But other than that, I've been good.
Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Literally.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes
a bit of salt, a bit of sugar.
Yeah.
How about you, bro? What's been going on?
Just going through the motions, really. Just same old mahi gang.
Mm-hmm.
Just comp season approaching, and just a lot of things happening. Trying to prepare for the rest of the year. Trying to map things out. Just a lot of like. This is like the building setup phase for me right now for the rest of the year, which will be good. So once I get through these next couple of weeks, then yeah, I'm looking forward to what's to come. Yeah. But anyway, bro, what you got covered for us today?
So I'll be looking at the stew today, and I've got the prompt here. It's going to be interesting whether or not we actually delve into it in full depth. That's another thing. But we're going to be talking about how should elders or teachers preserve or modernize dance, like what they teach. So yeah, kind of going into that whole thing about like cultural appropriation, appreciation, talking about gatekeeping versus inclusivity as well. So yeah, that will be very interesting.
What about you, sis? What you got on?
I'll be covering rapid fire, and it will be going through some confessionals.
This is my confession.
Confess.
And what you got for us today?
And then today I'm taking Brown Talk again, and this time we're actually going to do like a review / recap of last night. We watched some Kapahaka videos, so we're going to be going in depth with that, and I thought we might as well just kick off with that segment and section now. So for myself and Aki, we're both from New Zealand. We're both of Māori culture and descent. And then Reeni there, also Samoan as well.
I'm Indigenous.
I'm part Indigenous.
Pauline Hanson.
We just thought it'd be cool for like, instead of us just talking about like current things and different topics regarding stereotypes and all that other stuff, I just thought it'd be cool for us to actually be a bit more involved and connected to actually experiencing or even just watching some of our cultural either practices or traditions or performances, which is a big part of like Māori culture with Kapahaka as well. So we last night we watched 2 different videos of performances from just different eras at Matatini, which is the big, like, it's kind of like the Super Bowl for like Kapahaka performances and teams. Like if you're doing it in a group, whether you're based in New Zealand or anywhere in Australia, like your goal is to get on that Matatini stage. And the first clip that we watched was of Waihirere in 1996, and that's like my family's village in Gisborne on my mum's side as well. So a lot of like the people in that video were either aunties, uncles, some of my older cousins that were in there as well, which is kind of cool because like I've seen snippets before, and like my mum would have it on in the background when I was growing up and younger and stuff, but I wasn't really paying much mind. So to actually sit down and watch it from start to finish was quite cool. And then the second clip that we watched was Te Matarai Orehu, which is another group from Rotorua, and we watched their 2011 Matatini performance as well, which was quite cool. And I actually got to see that live because it was in Gisborne that year, which was like fire. But yeah, just any first thoughts, reactions, anything you were able to take away, and then we can just kind of see where we're going to go from there. Anyone want to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it. Sis.
I mean, obviously, I'm not Maori speaking, but I just love how you can just feel the energies, like just so beautifully clear. Like I get goosebumps every time I watch like that stuff, or anytime I see clips and stuff. Like there's one girl on TikTok. Her name's like Latasha something Moana. She's a little moldy girl and powerhouse of a voice, but I know she does coppers as well, and just that girl's going places straight up. So yeah, no, just like even though I'm not Māori speaking, like the energy you feel just watching it and just being able to appreciate somebody else's culture, it's just such a beautiful feeling. So yeah.
I think like watching the two back to back last night, it was really cool to see the different approaches. The first being far more like musically inclined, or like not necessarily modernizing it, but taking like melodies that we know from outside of covers and then applying it into that format, which was really sick to watch. And then comparison to the second one we watched, which was like raw energy and like that real primal state, which was really beautiful. And it was cool to see how, regardless of their approach, how all in it they were. Like you could tell like they live and breathe, and that was just so refreshing. It seemed almost like uninhibited. Like it was yeah, breath of fresh air, honestly. Yeah.
And I think like in going off of that, a lot of things that some of the performers, I don't know whether in those specific clips the members did, but usually like I know some of my family, like when they're living like in Wellington and then they're going to be performing with a group that's from Auckland or Gisborne or from wherever, they would literally fly back and forth every weekend, or whenever they had like a live-in where they would stay for the full weekend, they'd fly out Friday night late or Saturday morning and then get there, train Saturday, train Sunday, and then come back late Sunday night or whatever they could to go back to work for the rest of the week, and then rinse, repeat.
Yeah,
They would do that for like
crazy.
months, or they would drive, like, you know what I mean? So that's why their performance and the passion and that stuff comes through, because it's the commitment. It's like, it's bigger than just getting on stage with the most renowned teams, the most popular teams, the ones with the biggest support or following or whatever. Like, it means a lot to all of them, of course, but it means even more to like our people that we're still continuing and carrying on our traditions through song and dance and performance, even through after all these years. And even for the, you know, in this day and age with technology and social media and stuff, that even like video clips and stuff that you see where it goes viral in that, like it's amazing, and it's like it stops you in your tracks, but it doesn't fully encapsulate and doesn't do it justice to being there live. It's one of those things. And like for me, I guess the last prompt I want to ask you guys is, as dancers, you know, performers, like obviously we're in different fields, but essentially we're doing the same thing. What was your guys like takeaway, I guess, in comparison, or what do you feel like you were able to take some sort of, I don't know, gem away from watching the performances, or something to give you to think about moving forward? Yeah. Anyone?
Thank you.
Do you need a minute?
I do have one. Yeah. I think like the one thing I loved watching was like they know who they are, and you see that so like beautifully, and just the way they take up space, and just I don't know, just I feel like you can do a dance, but if the energy isn't there, like the performance lacks a lot.
Yeah, it needs the heart.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, and I think that's the main thing I find most important as a dancer. It's just like when I'm stepping onto a stage, what do I want people to see? Or more than anything, who do I want people to see? And stuff, and tapping into that energy. But also I just wanted to say, like, shout out to Rain, Wallace and Zenon. you know, my three favorite Māori boys in Adelaide, besides you guys. Whoa, sorry,
Bermuda
sorry,
Triangle
sorry,
on this.
sorry.
She gone missing. Literally.
My bad. I was like, but I know that they do Kapahakas here too.
Pause. We wouldn't know because we never get invited.
Bruh, no, literally, you know
And I
what?
hope
Where's
you're
the
listening.
deal?
And that is also a great example of island timing. Come on, guys.
Yeah, you're
Please.
doing bad for the stereotype, my
sorry,
boy.
sorry. But yeah, no, just like, because I know how quite limited it is in Adelaide and stuff. So, you know, I know for them, like, actively like doing stuff like that makes them feel connected in a way. And yeah, also like, guys, the invite, stop being holdouts.
Yeah,
Stop trying to be
bruh.
too cool, man.
Love you.
Do you want the support or nah? Like, for myself, the takeaway is, how do I word it? I think it's kind of like what I was saying before. It's like, it's an all-encompassing thing. It's not just something that you sort of like take a little bit of, like you're either all in or you're all out sort of thing. And that's definitely something that I find myself constantly reminding myself of the endeavors that I do, whether it's in my movement or whether it's in work or anything else. It's like, am I actually in it? Like, am I doing it for the right reasons? Am I doing it for me? So, if I'm not ticking those boxes, then I feel like I'm putting a disservice to everyone else that I'm working with as well. So, yeah, definitely the main thing. A bit of a perspective shift, really, of like seeing what things I do in dance and outside of dance that fill my cup. And if it doesn't, then why? And do I change it or do I just drop it? Honestly, yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's why I was so quiet when we were watching it. I was just kind of like, wow.
Just taking it in.
Yeah,
and just,
right.
It's one of those things where, not just with those specific clips or videos, but just moments like that where it's like a lot of not even just internal reflection. It's just trying to absorb as much of it as you can, so that even if you don't know where you're going with the thought process or the idea and stuff, it's you're able to like kind of let it marinate, and then it might not register when you're watching it. It might not register like right now as we're talking about it the next morning, but maybe like a couple months down the track, you'll have a conversation or you'll hear a song, or we'll be in the midst of rehearsal and you're not even actively thinking about whatever's going on. You're just like, the light bulb switches on
Yeah.
and then it connects. It's like, now I know why I was kind of stuck thinking about this one part from this performance I watched last month or last week.
It's like a state of being.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. But also, like, how did you feel watching one live? Like,
Oh no, it's lit. Like, I mean, like for me, like I've said before in previous episodes, like my mum's very, she grew up in that. Like our family's like pretty much born and bred and made to perform on my mum's side. So it's been a huge part of her life. My grandfather, obviously being like quite a well-renowned composer and performer and a figurehead in Māori culture, especially in Kapahaka and stuff as well. So I know for her it was important to bring me along to watch those things, to be immersed in it, even if she knew when I'm like 7 years old, 10 years old, or however old I was, every other year that we would go, is that even if I wasn't really paying attention, she knew that she was somewhat planting a seed, whether she realized it at the time or not. Which is like, now that I'm a lot older and I've experienced a lot more in my life, it's like now I'm at that point, so I'm ready to actually take in all of that stuff and embrace it. But nah, it's awesome. Honestly, it's one of those things where, like, obviously a lot of people see like the All Blacks at a rugby game and they're like, wow, that's so cool because they're so big and so strong and all this stuff, and then they're about to play an 80-minute rugby match. But it's different when you're watching a Kapahaka performance, especially for like matatini. Like for us, we dance on stage, like our routine's like 2.5 minutes or something, and it's intense. We're on the floor, we're doing a lot of different things and whatnot. But in Kapahaka, like for matatini, usually it's like a 25-minute bracket non-stop, and you're doing like your different items, and you're on stage not just dancing, but you're also singing, and you've got formations, transitions, the whole thing. So it's a whole other level compared to what we're doing, but it's just in a different lane. But yeah, very proud.
Yeah, as you should. All right, fam. So for the stew, we are asking my fellow fam here what is our position on whether or not teachers, elders, or gurus, all of it, should they be modernizing their practices, or should we be sort of gatekeeping? Should we be keeping things a certain kind of way? I'll pass it over to Dion.
I think it's important to not water down the substance of whatever it is you're teaching. So as far as like the methods of how that goes, obviously it pertains to the person that's teaching it and what their experiences were. But again, if I can use, and this is somebody I haven't learned from, but this is just somebody I've had a couple conversations with just in passing or at events, is like Po One.
Mm-hmm.
He's like as top tier in like the upper echelons of like
Literally
where people are as like important figures in hip hop, street dance,
Yes.
breaking, that sort of culture as you can possibly get. And his ideology is like he's just very like he's there for the community and the people, and like obviously very passionate about breaking the art form and what it represents and upholding it to the highest of standards, and not just for himself but trying to impart that wisdom and knowledge and experience onto the rest of the community or whoever's willing to take that stuff on. So I think like for me there's a fine line between maintaining the standard and stuff. I don't think it should be very easily attainable. I don't think it should be just you pay a class and then I just give you everything if you're not worthy of it. If you're like really serious about it. Like if I was going to Po One, I would be only going there if I'm like dead serious. I wouldn't want to waste his time. You know what I mean? So I feel like it has to be something where it's the teacher's responsibility to uphold and maintain the substance and the core elements of whatever the principle is that they're teaching, or the style, and it's up to the people, again, like previous episodes we were talking about, it's to not let the ego and getting upset and hurt when you're being not stonewalled, but you're being stopped. There's a roadblock saying like you're not ready to learn
some
this
resistance.
yet.
Yeah. Sis, what about you? What are your thoughts? How are you gonna beat that response?
Well, I thought of like an actual conversation. Shout out to Pascal from Canberra. He is a phenomenal like dancer. In the Afro scene specifically. I think I'm pretty. From what I remember, his background is Cameroon. Cameroon, if I'm correct.
Cameroon's a place. Yes.
Yes. I just want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. And I just remember when we did his workshop when he came to Adelaide for the first time. And even like another teacher as well, Octaves. I'd say pioneers of the Australian Afro scene, and of these cultures as well. I remember Pascal saying like before we got into him teaching us, he was like, Afro is worldwide. It's meant to be felt by everyone, and he actually said he's sorry. I talk my hands a lot.
Slapping the microphone.
And he was saying that like there's a difference between like gatekeeping and then celebrating culture. And obviously like every person who is black obviously has different opinions. So each to their own, of course. From a respectful place, obviously. But yeah, it was just really interesting hearing their takes. And they were saying as long as you're going about it respectfully, go for it. It's a beautiful thing to share. And their kind of mindsets were like, dance is universal. But just be respectful about it. And don't bring harm to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think from my perspective, within ballroom, because it is quite a politically fueled community, as it should, as most spaces should. It's interesting because something that I've sort of recognized within myself in terms of leadership is that it's part of my responsibility to make sure that the community remains safe, and part of that is also recognizing that there's a few individuals, whether it's because of their personal circumstances, whether it's because of their identity or whatever it may be, that they could be considered a more vulnerable person compared to someone else. Something that I recognize that is interesting is that is something for me and them to navigate. It's not for everyone else to be like, that's a vulnerable person. You know what I mean? Because it's almost the similar. It's kind of a similar effect to when you see someone who has something that is proving a challenge, whether it's like a disability, whether it's because they're experiencing something, and then you no longer treat them as an independent individual, and then you go to someone else. They are still capable of speaking for themselves, being included, being, a full, like a person. So I think one aspect that is interesting, and part of the reason why I think, yes, as a leader, you do have to have a degree of gatekeeping, is because in that aspect alone, there's individuals who inherently don't get how to preserve the space, whether it's the movement, whether it's the culture, whether it's the people as a whole, because they put their own approach, which is in more cases than not ignorant, because they haven't been in a space like that before.
And
Yeah,
some people are just doing it, like most dancers, like at the beginning at least, are doing it because they just want to learn. They're not really too. Most people don't really care too much about the history, the culture, the pioneers in that
100%.
style, and like, if these people didn't exist and do what they did to pave the way, you wouldn't be able to go to any city in the world or any studio in the world and be able to do a hip hop class or a breakdance
100%.
class or
That's
jam
right.
or whatever. So
And so, yeah, that was just an interesting little pivot because of something that I've recently sort of just been like, oh, maybe I need to change my like leadership styles. But in terms of the movement and the dances itself, as well as the community, for someone to approach the space as not an outsider, but like as someone new to
new.
the space, yeah. Yes, I do believe that there also needs to be sort of a degree of making sure that the community who are already there are priority, and that it's in a way you sort of throw tests to see whether or not this person is actually there for the right reasons, or is um capable of integrating or stuff like that. It's more social aspects rather than just dance, I'm finding. um and I think it's also difficult as well, especially in our space in Adelaide, that unfortunately a lot of um, culturally rich styles are only being shown in studio context first, as opposed to community spaces first. So that's just, just something interesting. Yeah. Did anyone else want to add to that?
I like what you said about like or both things was actually you both said how you said like sometimes like it's not a bad thing telling a student like I don't think you're ready yet because
Well,
it
no, you
like
got to earn that stuff.
because
100.
sometimes I think there's people in this space that kind of just expect to like have it, which is okay to not have it. That's the whole point of being a student, especially speaking for myself. I've been there and I still am there in so many ways. Like, I think a lot of people are just ready to rush out of the like, all right, I'm ready, like, or I deserve it, but I haven't done the work essentially.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's my thing with
Huge.
like
Yeah.
people that just go from like, oh, I've trained a bit or I've learned from a couple different people. Now I'm going to be a teacher. It's just like, hold up, who taught you how to teach in order to teach?
Because
You know
even
what I mean? Like I can tell
Oh,
you, I can ring off a list of names that could vet it for me, like as for me as a teacher, and like they can tell you, it's like what you see of me and what I've done. It didn't just start there. Like
go on.
there
Give
was
us the
histories and stuff.
credentials.
like I've had someone, and you know the someone, I'm not gonna out their name, but why is she even here? That someone.
Oh,
I'll never forget, like, she was giving me crap, but I was just like, respectfully, like,
who are you?
yeah, like, no shade, but like, who are you? Like, and it's not to be like a mean person, but it's like, I'm doing literally, I'm training in crew, so it's like I know I'm putting in the work and stuff. Like you're just showing up for 2 seconds and you're giving me crap for like perspective you don't even have on.
But the other thing as well that was a bit of an issue with that was that um, she was almost policing when I was just
For
kind
so
of like,
many weeks, and it's like, what did I do?
and I'm also just kind of, and also after me telling her constantly, just worry about yourself. I live with her, so if anyone is gonna tell her what's going on, it's this
And
guy.
if anything, like, you know, both being actually essentially both your students, your student in both of your like class, crew, and your class as well. I live with you both. If anything, you guys would literally
Rip you a new one.
Yeah. So it's like, damn.
I just
If my teachers aren't on my back, why are you?
my only gripe is like I see there's too many people that are teaching, but not enough teachers. Like that actually know exactly what they're teaching and can literally break it down and explain it to whether it's a primary school age group that are beginner level that are just there for vibes, and then like advanced dancers and everything else in between. A lot of people just want to go from, I've been dancing for a while, I'm an advanced level dancer, or at least what people assume would be that. So I just want to teach advanced classes only. I'm sure everyone wants to, but like if you haven't paid your dues, earned your stripes, and kind of worked your way up, you're not going to actually have appreciation for when you get there. You're just going to expect those things.
100%.
Yeah.
Well said.
And I like what you said about the like when it comes to like people with disabilities and stuff like that, you are giving them such a discredit to what they can potentially be capable.
Well, it's ableism.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, and it's just like, yes, they are vulnerable in their own ways, in general, but just assuming that they're incapable is so like, you don't know what they're capable of, and I think everyone needs a little bit of a healthy push in
But
life.
here's the thing as well, and I think this is going to wrap things up for this segment anyway. Regardless of where you come from, what you've got as well, it's our responsibilities of individuals within a community space, whether it's in a class, whether it's in like a social group or whatever. It's as an individual in that space, we have a due diligence to make sure that everyone is sort of nurtured to do their best in the space, and also challenged at the same way, especially within leadership as well. That does not mean that you weaponize or blatantly use against someone's hardships. You can't just be like, that person is incapable, therefore I'm going to act a different way. No, you still engage and treat them as a normal person.
Yeah, you maintain the standard.
That's it. And also that way as well, you're uplifting them to push and also find a new sense of independence within a group.
It forces them to rise to the occasion, not just as a student, but to the standard of what the culture requires in order for them to accurately portray / represent, be present in those spaces.
I'm getting a bit heated by that. I think it's because maybe I need to do some reflection. But yeah, I think just do better. Everyone, just do better.
Okay, so now we get into rapid fires. So basically, we hit up, we made a story asking people to do some anonymous confessions. So I'll just speed through some of these. All right. First one, I peed myself while drunk in the toilet and went commando and blamed the drunk guys.
Damn.
Yep.
Deserved.
I used to pretend to sprain my leg to get out of going to school. It worked, but my mom got sus and sent me to the doctors, and they said that I have arthritis in my knee, so it checks out.
The curveball.
Oh my God. Little did they know they were sending a 50-year-old something to school. Get it, Benjamin Button.
Sometimes when I see people I know in public, depending how close we are, I run away from them.
Oh.
Valid. Oh, this one is crazy. I was in a fraternity, hazing and all for a year, and they got busted by the uni, but I escaped back to Adelaide.
We need to have a chat. Who is that?
I want to be your friend so badly. We're approachable. Please.
Don't throw me under that bus. I'm not approachable. I'm intimidating, apparently.
I don't need friends.
They disappoint me.
I would call my ex at random times, like the morning, day, or during late hours, on no call ID because no sleep for the wicked, and also wanted his peace to be disrupted by the way he disrupted mine for all of that relationship.
Oh my word. That's ridiculous.
Damn.
Not too much.
That's a hate crime.
Okay, and I threw up on someone's privates during an intimate act. Still embarrassed to this day. Yep. I'm like, damn.
I have no word.
Yeah, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
ew. You should be.
You're hateful.
Okay, so those were just some, not all of them, but just some that went through. So now, do you guys have anything to confess?
I mean, I have one. It's not really worth mentioning, to be honest, because I am a holy man of the Lord right
yeah,
now.
I'm in it.
I'm in it. Now, when I was younger, I stole from a news agency. They used to have those little like puzzles that they would sell at the front where it was like a tree frog or like a little forest or something like that. And it was like maybe the box was like the size of a deck of cards, and yeah, I snagged it, and then I went home and Mum saw me making the puzzle, and she's like, "Where'd you get that from?" And I was like, "Oh, the news agency," and she's like, "We didn't pay for that," and I said, "I thought we did."
Oh, good cover.
So here, you know how like when kids throw stuff in the trolley and it's like, we want this, and they'll be like, nah. I just straight up threw it in my pocket.
Damn. Damn.
So embarrassing, yeah. But that's my confession.
Okay. Oh, all right. I got two. First one is really stupid. Basically, me and my little sister, we got into a really heated argument. I can't remember what I threw, but I threw something in her direction.
Water bottle was a clear one. It was empty.
Damn.
Don't worry, I got you.
Damn. Well, no, this was when we were a bit younger and, you know, my school days. But damn, you're funny for bringing that up. But I can't remember. I think it was a hard object. It hit her door and it dented the door. And then I started freaking out like, Mum's gonna kill me. I was like, oh my gosh, it's your fault. And then I just said, oh, see, I threw his iPad at the door. Because no one would get mad at the disabled sibling.
You chose the disabled brother.
Damn.
And did we not just cover this earlier in the stew? How you should not be
Hey,
doing
we're
that?
siblings. This is family business.
So how did you point the finger at him? Did you just go,
Oh, because like I mean, like he has a few behaviors, like I mean, brain injury, guys. But yeah, like because I was just like, no one would get mad at him. So thanks, thank you. And he's also nonverbal. Love you.
All right, real quick, while we're on this, do you ever think that any of your other family members have done something similar?
100%. Oh my gosh, 100%.
Yes, let me stir the pot.
Honestly, if my brother was verbal, oh my goodness, he would. Yeah, he's like. Mm-mm.
See, that's why you got to get back on you.
yeah, pinky up.
And then the second one, oh, I'm really exposing myself here. Love you, Mom. So when I was 18, this is when my parents didn't know I used to drink. Obviously, I'm a grown woman now, and they know, like, but there was that one time where, like, you know, I'd say my parents were a little bit more stricter, still living at home, you know, cool, their house, their rules. And it was my first time actually drinking. Yes, I was drunk, and yes, actually, I took the fall for this. Lani just drove me home and stuff. And then, yeah, when my mum was like, are you drunk? I was like, nah, I'm chilling. I was,
Oh dear.
So, love you, Mum. Love you.
You know what? Here's the thing. Although you've confessed, she probably been knowing.
Yeah, honestly, my mum, you can't lie with her. She works with police. She's worked with police. I don't know. That woman just
Call the popo.
Huh?
No.
Yeah, nah.
I think that's also the other thing that like about us when we're like kids and younger is like we think we've got a
Slick
good
as
chance
heck.
of getting away with it. It's like they were also our age once and probably
Literally.
did something similar or family member did something similar.
Literally, I will confess for Mum, I would just think it's funny because like my mum was such a prim and proper person, and like a bit of a tight ass as well. But like I just remember, when she passed, like sharing stories with other fam, and my older cousin, so same age group as my mum. she was like, yeah, your mum would used to sneak me out when I was 16. And she'd be like, you better be at the effing front door by this time. Otherwise, I'm not taking you home and that sort of stuff. My mum didn't even go out. She just, she was the escort. And like, I was just kind of like, wow. I see the qualities of my mum now, but I've never seen her do something like
That's
that.
it.
And I'm like, get it, mum. I know where I get it from.
It's like Uber
Now too.
before Uber.
Literally.
Literally.
It was just like, that's crack up because similar to what you were saying with your parents at home, it was like they grew up being very tight with their parents too, being like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't leave the house. And so we're all finding ways. We're all out
Yeah.
here.
I mean, I will say though, like my parents were never full on, like full on though. Whereas like I've had some friends where their parents are like hella strict, like extreme strict though, and I'm just like, you just create really good liars, honestly. Just straight up. That's well from my
Well, yeah, if you
observations.
tell them not to press the big red button, then
They're
they're
gonna.
going to press it. Yeah, literally. Again,
Yep.
good chat.
Yeah.
Again,
Oh, sorry.
the
So,
button.
oh, the button.
Mike Wazowski. Wazowski. Go on.
Okay, so I thought we'd finish off with a bit of a deep one we received, which I thought we could maybe touch on. Girl, I am gay but forced into the closet because of my super homophobe family. Please send help. I'm dying out here. Yeah, so any thoughts?
I think it's quite tough. If you're feeling like suffocated or restricted, there are avenues. I mean, from being in amongst it with a pretty big community, mind you, like, I would say that's the first thing, first and foremost. Find your people outside of home. Because it will also empower you to eventually, if you feel like it, bring it up to your fam. But be surrounded by love, and that's that aspect that fuels you in that regard, especially if you're not going to get that from your family because they don't, whether they don't believe it or they are homophobic. Yeah, I think that's the first and foremost. Find your people. Because yeah, it will also allow you to heal and sort of understand yourself more so as well. Because like, it's not a bad thing, honestly. I think that's what a lot of us forget is that like, being different in some capacity is never a problem. It can strike as a challenge or a conflict of understandings, which is okay. But ultimately, with that in mind, you need to find ways to make sure that your cup is being filled. Yeah. So yeah, I reckon finding community is always a really important one. Eventually, I think, like, honestly, can't really give you anything solid advice that addresses the fam. It just depends on whether or not you want to maintain a relationship with them as well. And if that's the case as well, there needs to be a point where you're able to you're so happy with yourself and like where you've come from and the progress you've made and your identity that you're able to relearn how to love them, because I would assume as well that you would be feeling a type of way about them because you feel as though they're not appreciative or understanding of an aspect of your own life. So there will come a time where you're able to open your arms and be the bigger person in that sort of discussion too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you touched on it very beautifully, so I don't really have too much more to add except like to whoever this person is that just sending you comfort, because I can only imagine how that feels to just not live your truth and not be able to fully be yourself openly. Like that's a different kind of like hard and suffocating. So, just sending love, comfort, and I hope that you're able to find the courage one day to just be yourself and just know that, like, as hard as it is, the right people will love you for you.
That's right. And I think as well, just quickly to add on to that as well, depending on like how much you focus on passing around them as well, like straight passing, there might be there might be signs that, like, honestly, there might be moments where your family already have an idea that you might be. Or if you're fully like butching it up, like who knows? So that's another thing to consider too. Not to sort of make it in a way where you're self-conscious of how you present around them, but like the silver lining, there may be an easier way to rip off that band-aid. Yeah.
Yeah, well said. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry that there wasn't like a really comprehensive like how to for dummies sort of
Yeah.
situation.
It's a bit tricky
but
because it's like trying to figure out how to go about
Yeah.
it because it's like our words carry weight.
100%.
and stuff.
But like, find your peace and find your truth in other ways. Find your way to sort of fill up that cup I was saying before, because it seems like right now it is not the time for you to feel that sense of acknowledgement from that group of people.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you can find the right people that will accept you.
100%.
So, yeah.
But I think it starts with finding peace within yourself. It's like you need to be at peace with yourself. It's like the saying, would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the world, or would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world? And in the world, in this case for you, the world is like your family or your friends or whoever you think might accept or not accept you for whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no matter what of like other people's opinion, family or not, there is nothing wrong with you and you are enough.
Yeah, well said. Like, love shows itself in many different ways, and I think if they feel a type of way about you exploring your sexuality, although it's hard to understand, it does come from a place of concern and love most of the time. However, that doesn't necessarily translate in a way that's easily received. So yeah, I think being at, like Dion said very well, like finding your peace in some way, whether that's within yourself or the people around you, and focusing on that first to feel grounded again and connected.
And obviously like can't guarantee like anything. But sometimes I find that people who tend to be like homophobic, because I've had conversations like this, it's just because they're scared and they don't understand. Honestly, like it just comes from a place of intentional and unintentional ignorance, very deep ignorance. So who knows? I know there's family members of mine that never understood it and were quite a bit homophobic, but I guess like growing up around people who are of that community, it opens your eyes and perspective more. So sometimes you never know, people might come around, but also like that's yeah.
Call into your community, fam.
Well said. Well, I think that wraps it up. Well, thank you for the input, guys. This was really fun to do. And yeah, like we always say, we love hearing from you guys. So yeah, please don't be shy, please. And like we love the interactions genuinely. So like I said again, please don't be shy. So yeah, this wraps things up, and we hope you guys have a great
aggressive rest of your day.
a great rest of your week. It's the middle of the week. I'm tired, but I'm happy to be here. So yeah, great
As she
topics.
said at the beginning of the show.
Great topics, great conversations, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the week, guys. So this is the
3
Wise
Cousins.
Bye. Bye.